works. Okay, I'm dropping a link to the there's a link to the live stream itself in the private chat if someone can put it in the comments. Okay. Oh, he gave the channel link. This is a link to the stream. And one day I'll learn how to put in a picture in the thing. Oh, okay. Thank you, Nico. It was a great time. Good. Get her done. Woohoo! Yep. I got to drop out of this stream so I can go to my stream. There we go. Thank you all very much for joining me. If anybody wants to join, I guess I could drop the old StreamYard link. I will need you to have video or, somehow be familiar with you. But come on in. Let's open up a new window here. Share this bad boy out to people. I've never done this before. Where did my StreamYard go? Share screen. Hey, look at that. Let me see here. So let me see. Oh. We have somebody who has my same name. Oh no, that's my screen sharing. Okay. Easy enough. Let's see. I do have to say, I like the Panamatic. I don't know that it would be a replacement for a Longo 1. I just kind of like it on its own. And this green color struck me this season. It was too much with the original strap, but this is not bad looking. Yep. No super chat yet. Okay. Let me see. My camera setup. I have an old. Let me see here. I can actually turn it a little bit. Let's go back to the StreamYard. Go back to me. Oops. That should not be in the shot. Let me move my screen around some. This can go over here. So you can see right now the camera is pointing at my Casio. This is a EOS T3i. It's about 12, 13 years old. It's my wife's. She had it before I met her. It's old. It's not very great quality, but it works really great for what it's doing now. The Canon has some software which, when you connect the USB cable, it works as a camera input. And once you do that, it has all the standard functions. So I can, zoom in. I have a little macro lens on the end there, or you can really, if you want to get, have to back it out a little bit. The lens needs a cleaning. But you can get pretty close. And then I use a program called Minicam. With Minicam, I can switch the views around so I can transition here. And once that's, once we have the sharper version, move it further away. Once we have the larger screen, I can really move it. I'm sure I could get the autofocus working better, or I could get the autofocus working entirely, but I like it not dancing around on me the whole time. But this allows me to get much closer on dials than I could with a regular setup, with anything I can do with a normal webcam. So this is actually hooked on an extra monitor arm that I have because I bought a double monitor stand. I use the mounting plate through the hole in the bottom where you normally would screw it on. That holds the camera in place, and that way I can move it up and down, put whatever I want to in there. And that gives me the ability to show you whatever watch I want to, or, whatever POS I want to in any kind of clarity. And you can even catch, some of the corners of the, there you go, like on the corner of the 10, you can see the, on the corner of the 11, oh, and the top of the markers, you can see a little glint from the curved printing, the thickness of it. It's not the worst quality. Thank you. I appreciate the upvotes. I appreciate the subscriptions. I appreciate all the support. This is great. I mean, the community's been very welcoming. It's been mind-blowing to be a part of this and see this going on. And yeah, Andre, if you have an old camera and it has, look it up, see if it has drivers. I also updated the firmware on that. I'm not sure if it was important. I'm not sure if I had to, but it had it, so I may as well do it. It made it real easy. Watch Cardinal. Wow. Is he around? I'm honored. Let me see here. Definitely add a mod or two. Thank you, Watch Cardinal. Definitely add you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Now let's see for watches. I guess I can go through my collection, a real quick version. I did it originally when I hopped on Tim's show. The oldest, the one you've seen a couple of times. Oh yeah. Tell you the truth, I get some really good shots with just the tripod and my phone. I use a Note 9, and I use the remote pencil because I can use that to take pictures. So I don't have to bump the phone, don't have to do anything or upset it. I don't have to even work with the timer. So when that second hand's in that perfect spot for taking a picture, I can really do what I want to. And let's move this back up a little bit. Fish tank's falling asleep. I need to go wake it up. I can do that in a second if you all want to. If anybody says yes, I'll wake the fish back up. Let me see here. Thanks for the feedback, R. I really appreciate that. You're great. All of you are great. Thank you, Degenerate, for subscribing. As I mentioned, Watch Cardinal. Thank you very much for upvoting. And yeah, Scott, I'm just starting out. But I think this is something I really enjoy. I like talking about watches. If I can get some company on the stream, that would be great too. But look, I'm fine sitting here talking about it myself. So let me see. Yep. Thank you. You're wrong. We will let the fish sleep. Cichlids have to have their time. So let me see. Oldest watch I have, not the watch I've had the longest, is the Hamilton. It's a 1905 pocket watch. Oop, there we go. Yeah, thank you. Those subscriptions really go a long way for me right now. This pocket watch, I saw the pocket watch video that Watchfinder has out. And I said, holy smokes, look at all the value you can get in a pocket watch. I mean, he said they paid about $300 for his. Thanks, Andre. Thank you so much. This is, I mean, I'm floored. I had this imposter syndrome. I always felt not good enough, like I didn't belong. I always looked too young. So I was always, kind of never taken seriously. And here is a group that transcends all that, I never thought I'd feel like coming out and streaming, and I do. Thank you all. Thank you all so much for all the support. This is, I mean, wow. It really is something. So yeah, I saw the Watchfinder video talking about what a great value these are. And so I started scouring eBay. And I think everybody started scouring eBay after that, because whatever he said he could find around 300, I just could not find. But after looking, week after week, there was one that had very little activity on it coming up until the weekend. And I said, hey, maybe that'll be the one. And I put in like a limit of 250, and I saw somebody start bidding it up from like $80 to $100 to $125 to $188, and that's where he stopped. I don't think he expected somebody to go the distance, and I won it for that, and it was a hell of a steal. And as I've shown the movement inside, and to me that's the showcase of the watch. Well, actually, one thing I do want to show is this is from the J Boss Movement Company. Here, let me move myself out of the way here. I'll make myself tiny. You can see the case is engine turned. Let me see, where was that pointer I had before? Yeah. The case is engine turned, so besides the stamp decoration, it's got, beautiful stuff that you would not see today. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was stamped into the case when they slammed it into a big mold. But still, it's beautiful case work. And when I grew up in Puerto Rico originally, I would visit my grandparents in Dodgeville, New York, upstate New York. Then when I moved to Virginia, my grandparents went to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is where Hamilton's based out of at this point in time. So I would go spend a week or so in the summer with them, and I loved it. And we would go to the railroads and do all those things. I had no idea that there was, a rich pocket watch thing going on, that RGM would show up there at some point in time. But I did know that Hamilton watches were there, and they existed and were something good. Howdy, Mr. GMT. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate that. Uba, I appreciate it, man. Marco, man, thank you. The feedback is so great. And thanks. I definitely look forward to being on other people's streams and hosting streams myself. Especially with this great community. I mean, I love talking watches, and my wife and my son are finally happy that I have someone to talk watches about that aren't them, or talk watches too. And pocket watches are in a league of their own. They really are. I mean, and yeah, lots of watches are reusing old movements. You've got Vortic, who buys up some of these old watches. They'll put them in new cases. They'll put them in display backs. You have smaller people doing the same thing, putting them in more traditional cases. See, look at that. Look at that balance wheel going by. Or not the balance. Right behind the balance, you have that little wheel kind of spinning by there. I just love it. And this is where I'll set up my phone, and I'll put it in that hyperlapse mode where it'll take like a picture every 10 seconds. Do that for like 45 minutes. You can see all the gears going by at the different ratios. It is just mind blowing. So, oh yeah, I get distracted a little bit. I might have been smoking some medicinal stuff. I have a card. It's all good. The case is stamped by look at that. I do love this ability that I have. It is from the Keystone Case Company. Look at that. I'll use the plug here. The Keystone Case Company is the J Boss model, which was one of the case models. I don't really know too much about it. And there are a couple marks on here. I got to find out what direction I'm supposed to be going. There we go. You've got the serial number of the case right here. On here, there are a couple scratches that are put in by case makers as they. Here, I'm going to move this comment out of the way. Thank you, R. Where are they? Oh, they'll put Yep, there's one under the serial number. You can see there's a little code put in there by a watchmaker showing, that he serviced it. It'll be his code. If you buy a watch, hopefully you get a bunch of those inside there, meaning it has a nice, rich service history. This one was only serviced once. I'm still waiting for an appointment to get it to my local guy because these things put a lot of torque through the movement. But I can't help but break it out and show it off every once in a while because, I mean, some American 115 years ago, 75 miles down the road, was putting these rubies into these gold or copper chatons and mounting them into that plate that someone had spent time hand decorating. Granted, it's not deep engraving. It's not, hours with a rose engine at RGM. It's not a complex pattern, but the little florets that you have across under where it says Hamilton Watch Company, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, right down there. Oops, right there. Strange working under a camera like this. All those little designs to me make it special. In some of the later watches, you have the standard glass, or I guess you'd call them Pennsylvania stripes. Either you get a bunch of circular stripes going around from the middle, or you get straight striations. So this is an unmarked 922 movement. The 922 is a class of movement that was very that went on to sell a whole lot. It later on had the 922B and then the 922E with an Ellenvar balance spring, which is known for being blue. This one's also blued, but is not marked as one of the E models. So I don't really know which one, what really the balance spring is. And although this is only tested in 5 positions, it says, it is still a railroad certified watch. So for what it is. Anyhow, and then we go to the front. Oh, open this bastard up. See, I don't know if you all have seen these things about pocket watches and if I'm boring you all. But over here in the corner, we have a lever, if you see that. And that's this is called a lever set movement. Once you pull that lever out, this crown doesn't spin, doesn't wind the movement, but it goes into setting mode. Once you put that lever back in, then you can keep winding the movement back up. So that's the lever set. Screw that front back on, and that is the oldest piece of timekeeping that I have. That is a great little one. And then just for shits and giggles, I have another white dial Hamilton. Good to see you, Mr. GMT. I hope you slept well. Are you still awake? Oh, nice, Scott. I'm very grateful. Very cool that Roland Murphy's a friend of yours. It's got to be cool having a friend that does something like that. I mean, shit. Talented friends are a blessing to have. The one complaint the seller had is the case is a little tough to put back together, which I will agree, but with a little bit of work, I can get it. However, not for this second. As I've shown this one off before, you know what? Let me pop the back on this so it's a little easier to get for real. This is my second oldest. That's my Movado. I was hoping for a World War II watch, but this is what I could find right around when I had a bunch of money in my pocket, for better or worse. It has a nice radium dial. Unfortunately, one of the hands is fallen apart entirely. The other one still has a lot of beautiful radium in it. There's crazing to the dial. I love the little fine markings around the edge and the red tipped second hand. It's just a beautiful, elegant piece. The ostrich leather works well with it. I love the sharp lugs on it. It does everything I want. What more could I need? Let me find a picture of the movement inside, because it is just something special. Just give me 1 second to dig that one up while you watch the movement bounce. Do. Okay, where did that? Let's go back to StreamYard, right? This isn't easy when you do it by yourself. I can see why it helps to have Marco and Tim and all the rest of the people helping. My Chrome is starting to flake out. Oh no, I found it. Here we go. There we go. That's what's inside that Movado. This movement up top, where it says Movado Factory 17 joules, that flips and flops back and forth. Oh, you can see where where the magnifying glass is. It bounces off of this spring. There's supposed to be another spring there. I had it serviced and added. Yeah, I could. I thought I did a little bit. It was hard. He was choosing. He's in control of the stream. I asked him his opinion, and that's really what I wanted. I didn't want to get into a discussion about it. I wanted him to rant in a unhinged way, and I wanted to hear all the ways in which he really feels that way about it, passionately inside, if that makes sense. It's his stream, and I thought of it more of it as an interview to find out how he feels. That doesn't mean that that's how I feel necessarily. And I didn't want to have an argument with him, and I don't feel that that's where he was coming from. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, that's what's inside that movement. It is a great little movement. You can feel it kind of bounce around on your wrist. See if I can find another picture of it. Nope. Oh, well. Wait a minute. I do have another one for you. Just some nice work on the movement. It's pretty inside. It's too bad it's the pain in the ass to get it off. Unfortunately, the screws have been butchered a little bit at some point in time. But on a watch this old, it's going to be serviced. Thank you. I appreciate that. And that's great too. Good to hear. So yeah, let me see. What's next after that? Next after that's a recent acquisition. This is driven by lust for Mac VSOG. How do I remove that? Okay, there we go. This is a Seiko 7000 movement automatic. Actually, let me get her started. It is fashioned after, well, it is the same watch inside as Okay. Mac VSOG was the military assistance civilian. Okay, sorry, nope, they actually say it. Military Assistance Command Vietnam Studies and Observation Group. It was the official name for a bunch of stuff that was happening in Laos and Cambodia along the Vietnamese border, with a lot of sometimes Vietnamese, sometimes tribesmen that live in that area. Lots of American GIs paired up with these people and went on missions to find out where, for example, certain platoons were and find the entire company and those kinds of things. They would have to go in after crashed helicopters, try and recover them or destroy them. Lots of very crazy stories. If you have ever watched Jocko's has done some very good interviews with a few people from MacVSOG. I do recommend looking that up. Once I have enough monetization, I think I can drop links. But so this is the 7005 8030. When they were doing this, this is one of the first cases where they totally disavowed any and all American involvement in what was going on. By the way, I want to thank all 14 of you, and I have 15 likes. I don't know how this happens, but you are all amazing and great. And Mr. GMT, I thank you for being here, and R and Degenerate and everybody else. You guys are great. Scott, Tom, all of you. So anyway, they had to get special watches that didn't say U.S. military stamped on the back, and were also very good at night. You know, that would have easily legible dials. So he procured these, had field dials put on them. If you look up the serial numbers, they usually line up to dress watches, or sorry, the model numbers. But he had them redialed into that. Now, unfortunately, the last time these were around, they were $1,250, but that was around 2 to 3 years ago. This one's $222.20. So I imagine that would be closer to $2,000 right now. And the option is that there's a very good chance that what you're buying is not going to be one of those, because there were only a handful of those distributed. What you're going to get, in my guess, is going to be what I have here with a redial, because this is the same case, it is the same hands. It is the same movement. It is just in a different dial, in the original dial. The loom lasts for about 15, 20 seconds, and it's a great looking watch. Unfortunately, you have to, you cannot hand wind it. You have to give it the Seiko shake. So it's not easy to keep it topped off and keep that date current. It is a tiny bugger. Let me see. Let me find my calipers here. It is a 36 millimeter case, so I guess not too tiny, and an 18 millimeter lug width. It wears small. It wears very comfortable. It's a great little watch. Like I said, it's a very new edition. It's from about somewhere between 1969 and 1972, 73. Great watch. Love it. And I think, oh yeah, then we're up to Nouveau Vintage. This was a gift from an ex, belonged to her husband. Long, complicated story. Fun one. But my ball watch died. Tried to get it serviced. They killed the ETA movement inside. That one was a gift from my ex-wife, so I wasn't that emotionally attached to going through too much hassle to fix it. So she gave me this. The girl I was dating gave me this, and it was a lot of fun. Great watch. Although, quite frankly, I can't tell what the hell's going on in the dial unless I'm paying attention with glasses on, because those silver hands on that silver dial in any kind of light just disappear. The loom doesn't work anymore. I had the seals repaired to give it to my son, but he didn't care for it, so I bought it back from him. He's, all of 13, so I'm A-okay with that. And now I have a Neo vintage tag from the period when people spent $2,000 on them and then got burned for $500 for a sale. The dial on this looks great. It was still a quality made dial with some applied indexes. Now, let me see. What do you mean drop the link? Let you guys drop the StreamYard link for you guys? I'll do that. I will absolutely drop the link, especially for people like you, Mr. GMT, or people that we know. Thanks, Marco. I will have to definitely take a look at those. Is there a way to save this comment for later? I'll just have to come back and look at my video. But yeah, MacVSOG, I mean, there are crazy stories of people hanging off of wires from the back of helicopters. They were trying some of the early experimental things where you'd send up a balloon and they'd fly by and catch you with it, or catch the line hanging down from the balloon and try and drag you off. Some scary, crazy stuff. But they also got things like the China Lake pump action grenade launcher. So some interesting stuff. And some very interesting homemade stories. Claymores with 5-second grenades, so that as you were running away, you could plant one against a tree and keep running. You had to plant it against a tree because within those 5 seconds, that thing would blow up and would come flying, and part of the shrapnel would hurt you, but it would be quick enough to get the people behind you. So crazy stories. I mean, if you want to hear stories about heroism and harrowing adventures, those are them. Let me see here. Where's my... Oh. I unfortunately skipped one real quick. Did you mean dropping the link like I did, Mr. GMT? I'm not quite sure. I did put a link to the stream in the community group in WhatsApp. Yep, the Fulton system. That was also very fun to play in Metal Gear Solid 5 when you're running around Afghanistan against the Russians. So much fun. I mean, crazy technology at that point in time. I was a child of the Cold War. And I was always fascinated by the Russian, sneaking spies out of Eastern Germany, all that stuff. I wasn't, there's no chance of finding any of the old Det A stuff, Detachment A, secret gear. But I was just always fascinated by that period, and having something with the made in CCCP logo at the bottom, the whatever you say, was always great. So I bought 2 of these last year, and I gave my little brother the choice of which one to keep. He took the one with the gradient dial and a submarine on it. He made the better choice. But I still don't feel it was an awful one to keep. I figure some mid-level party member must have had the means to buy this, or maybe not, because it was probably new old stock when I got a hold of it. It was interesting buying a watch from St. Petersburg. But that one's from probably 91, 92. Let me see. Then we come around a little sooner. This is my Seamaster, circa 2019. It was made. I love it. It's my everyday watch. It can do anything. It'll handle any conditions, whether I'm, scrubbing behind the toilet or replacing, doing yard work. I don't think about changing it. It's just always there, and I love how legible it is with the folded metal hands catching the light. You do not lose them against the dial, and because the markers are sliced into the dial, you don't ever get them confused with the hands. So everything just stays together beautifully. As you can see, I've abused these center links, these polished center links on the bracelet. I do not suffer from clasp versionization. My clasp is heavily abused. Lots of desk diving. I also go into lots of closets at work. Switch out switches, network equipment, whatever the heck we have to, wireless access points, put them in the ceiling, take them in, put them out. So this will deal with anything. It also has the benefit of I can feel the pip there, so it kind of, when I'm getting that ketamine treatment and it's hard to see, I can find the pip to see where I started my infusion or my ketamine trip. And then all I have to do is find the minute hand to tell where I am in the trip. So it's pretty easy to figure out where I am. It's a great little watch, very handy. Oh, yeah. This was a Father's Day gift from my son that same year. And actually, I theoretically should have put in front of the Omega. To Casio Oceanus. This thing is so light, so easy, so accurate because it's synced up with Bluetooth. Nice polished diamond cut markers with little striations on them, little lines. Same thing with folded hands. You can tell they're thin. The marker or the second hand pretty much hits the marker. It's very, very, very slightly off, but it's more of like the movement is slightly off in the case. So there's not really much fixing that. One teeny tiny thing is that you can adjust the placement of the date wheel and the movement. So for example, it is just ever so slightly higher, because that makes it easier for me to read when the watch is tilted back, if that makes any sense. It's one of those little tiny benefits that no one ever really knows about. And those little markers are cantilevered over the dial. It's a great little watch. R, you have a good night. Sleep well. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for another great recommendation, Marco. Now let me see what came after that. I think I wanted to find out. I think I wanted a GMT, but I wasn't sure if I really wanted to spend on one. So I got this colorful Stratton GMT. The Tour. Oh, wow. It has 0 anti-reflective coating, it looks like. Let's move it like this. There we go. It has a dial similar to the Alpine Eagle, but it doesn't have the twist to it, so it's not too bad. I did want to just be able to pick up a GMT without having to worry about setting it, but I didn't want to pay for a Seiko 9F GMT. So I figured, you know what, let me just try this kind of GMT and see if I'm really going to want one. And it just added more confusion to the dial when I was trying to read it quickly. Maybe it's the dial's too small. But I do like the color in the watch. I never wear it, though. Mainly for Instagram, if that. But I could never bring myself to sell a watch. Another one that might be in that same group would be my Seiko Save the Ocean Samurai. Everything needs a good little wipe down. See, I need a Pride and Pinion cloth. I should have picked one up when I had a chance. Oh, there we go. Thanks for the compliment, Marco. It's nice. Does a good job. It works at the beach. It's very comfortable. It's a pretty well aligned Seiko, and I changed out the bezel for one with a little tactile loom for the same reason as the reason why I have it on the why I enjoy it on the Omega. I wanted a more tactile one on this one because also that minute hand is hard to miss. It's a very visible watch, very nice watch. I like that gradient dial. And the Samurai is one of those polarizing things. Either you like it or you don't. Oops. Am I outside of my focal range here because of this? Let me see if I can take off the... There we go. Oops. Almost. There we go. But it's a great watch. It's a comfortable watch. I realized that what looks like a big chunk of metal doesn't have to wear like a big chunk of metal. Seiko does a really good job of hiding that. And oh yeah, in my quest for orange watches, because orange is my favorite color, one of my favorite knife makers, Serge Panchenko, came out with this thing. It has a nice orange peel watch. It has a almost indestructible stainless steel finish. That is a very cheap aftermarket strap on it. It's got a Miyota 9015 movement inside, without, or a 9039. There's no date wheel and there's no ghost date. And it's a fun watch. The bezel swaps out. I have not seen one that I like yet, but it's a good one. I do hope more bezels come out that that I do like. There's one with stamped bullets that he's going to have at Blade Show. But I don't know if I just quite have the investment to go with such a thing. I may put this back into the market and let it go to somebody who will use it more. But once again, I don't sell stuff. I don't want to have somebody complain that something came in dinged up or they wanted an extra link or something like that. So let me see. Next we have the Orion. Where'd that thing go? Oh yeah. Polish that dial up. This thing, before I turn it into the normal, look at that. 10.5 millimeters thick. It's got a beautiful burgundy dial. I was hunting for a burgundy dial when the Hellcat came out, and I was like, well, shoot. It's a good size. It's got an interesting concave bezel on it. It's got a very thin case and a nice movement inside. I want it. So I couldn't help it. For $650, I still think it's a good bargain. It's got a very nice thin bracelet on it. Very comfortable to wear. And then that brings us to my last watch. My most recent one. The one that Marco destroyed. It's even facing upside down, hiding in a corner. Oops. Do. Let me get this facing the right way. I'm accepting applications for assistance and people to roll joints. Oh, there we go. Nice focus. This has the legendary 44 GS case. Those lugs there. Look at that. Look at how they're polished and all meet together. Those long flat lugs. This one has no lack of Zaratsu polishing on it. Although you can see that I do not have a care about wearing it. And I have scratched just about every part up. But anyway, it has what people call the mysterious blue Seiko dial because it looks black in most conditions. But Mr. GMT, let's add you in. Sir, how are you?
Good, my man. Yourself?
I'm doing great, man. I am happy to have my first stream and my first guest.
I want to support you, brother.
Thank you very much. Building up that repository of ours and everything else, so that we can go full spec.
Yeah, of course, for sure, my man. But you gotta. Have you told many people about your channel? Has a lot of people know about your channel? What's going on?
Not really. I pretty much only the bunch of people that have been on the last couple of streams. I need to get out there and promote it now that I've actually done something and have a little bit of content on it.
That's right. Yeah, of course. That's how you do it, man. Otherwise, it's very hard to get it off the ground, if you know what I mean. I've seen it. I've been around a lot of channels that just start off, including Tim's and Marco's and JJ's. And the one thing that you got to do is really promote it.
Yeah, you really do. And that's one thing that I have to definitely start doing. I need to make myself some kind of a better logo than that train wreck of a logo I put together before. And the other thing I need to do is just get the name out there to people. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
sorry. The
also,
one thing I was thinking about is there's an article in Hodinkee that mentions me by name, and if I want to get their permission, so I can do a longer video where I can go, hey, Hodinkee credits me. Here it is. Here's the post on Facebook where it happened. Do that kind of
yeah, of
stuff. Do a
course.
history of how it happened. Like a
But
short
also,
5-10 minute
also
video.
another thing you should do, because you know about all this sort of stuff, as I've seen in the last few shows. Um, Put like a background, put a music theme into it, like really spruce it up so it can actually look. When people come on, is they're coming on or at the start or whatever. There's really nice presentation in your whole feel of your channel. You know what I mean? It really helps.
Yeah. Thank you. That's a good idea. I definitely
Yeah.
have to start doing that kind of stuff. And I
Yeah.
gotta clean up like these books over here that are kind of like a little crooked. These ones right there.
Yeah.
Normally I have the camera a little high, but one of my cats came on to say hi. But yeah, I need to
So
do those extra things. I did get some art up on the wall.
that's awesome. Looks good. Looks awesome, bro. Yeah, I like your setup. It looks amazing. Looks really good, brother. I'm just
Thank
at
you.
work and I was just watching all the episodes, all the streams on and off, obviously, because it's very hard to actually commit when you're working. But I try and
Oh
do the
yeah.
best I can. Yeah, today was really a sad day today for me in a way. But you get that
Yeah. I'm
with
sorry.
what happened to the boys, with what happened with the boys and Archie and that as well. So you
Yeah,
know,
it's I wish I had any, it's a tough situation.
it is. It is. I love the boys to death, man. They're my second family. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
when I see them get treated like that, it's just wrong. I don't deserve it.
No. And Archie's gonna be Archie.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. Unfortunately, that's the truth. That's the truth in the whole matter, and just got to go along with it. I suppose if you want to be there, you're there. If you don't, you don't. It's the way it is, right?
Absolutely. So, I personally I'm glad that I don't have to start with Archie.
Yeah. You're getting a leg up from the other boys, which is great.
Yeah, I'm getting help from the community, which is
Yeah.
amazing. And, that's why I want to do everything I can to help everybody else in the community. Anytime I'm on, I'm trying to, give donations. I'm trying to, help Stefano get a second channel going, get the Watch Wizard going.
Yeah.
I
That's
want
cool.
to show off tech like this with the camera so that I can, help other people do it. Because if I can
Feel
do
the
it, other people
same. Yeah.
can.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly right, my man. But like you said, the most important thing is to support each other. And I'm one of those. I'm a high believer in that and a strong believer in that. And I try my hardest to support everybody in the community as much as I can, with whatever I can. If it's donations, if it's coming on the streams when I first start, I'll try to do as much as I can for them. And you know what the secret is with any stream? I'll
What's
tell you what
that?
the secret is with any stream is is entertainment and information. Everyone's craving for information.
Yep.
So the more information you have to give them, the more they'll love you for it. And the more entertaining you can be, the more they'll love you for it. They're the two factors.
Just got to find a way to be entertaining. I
Yeah,
can be self-deprecating.
There's ways. Like for example, is in having different people on, doing exactly what we're doing right now. Different characters which actually help out a lot that people like to see on the show. Things like that.
Absolutely. Good
And
idea.
which we can all engage in what you have to show for the day or what you have to the topics you choose to talk about. So yeah, it makes a difference. So yeah.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about making this episode about Parmigiani Fleurier and what a bargain you can find with those things on Chrono and eBay. How
Yeah,
much
because
horology there is in that?
there is a lot of horology in it, and they're very cheap considering what is out there. You know what I mean?
Yep. But then I
So no, it's
figured
a good topic. It's a great topic.
I'll just start out, with a quick, hey, here I am. Here's my collection. It was a
That was
quick, easy topic.
Yeah, which is good because you know what that does is you can always refer back to this episode and say, listen, if you want to know what I'm all about, go back to my first episode and you'll see my what I have in my collection and all the rest of it, and that's what I'm all about. That's what I like. That's what my interests are,
Yep.
and yeah, they can take it from there, sort of thing. If they missed this episode,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? So yeah, you've got this as a stepping stone.
Yep. Now I got to find an AD to butter up to borrow some watches from.
That'd be a good idea too, because that's always interesting. Have you got any connections? Have you or anything like that? Or?
I mean, there's one place about 45 minutes away where I bought my GS. Maybe I can, maybe I can at least get some footage from them. Who knows?
You can only try, my man. You can only try. There's no harm in
Absolutely.
asking, right?
They can only say no.
Yeah, that's it. And if they say no, too bad. It doesn't matter. At least you tried.
Exactly.
If you never ask, you never know.
Yeah, if they say no, then I try somebody else.
That's it. They say that we used to have a saying for the territory: if you never go, you never know. So
You just
remember
got to
that.
have a respectful go, and you'll be fine.
That's it. That's it. That's exactly right. So yeah. So how many viewers have you got at the moment, my man? Because I can't see.
I got 7
How's
people
everything
on.
going? 7 people?
7 viewers now. Yeah, it's slowly winding down as we're getting to 2 a.m.
Oh yeah, well definitely. Well, hello to all the punters out there, whoever's left. It's good to see that you actually stuck around and supporting the channel. Hats off to you guys. This is what it's all about. Like I said, I try and support as much as I can when I can. So here I am, my man.
And Andre Borgetti's offering that he would lend his pieces if I were closer. I really appreciate that, man. You guys, the community,
It's
it's
unreal.
just,
It's unreal.
it really is.
Unreal.
It's breathtaking.
Yeah.
So many people just want to help.
I've said it multiple times on Tim's stream, on Marco's stream. I always salute the community. I always salute the people in the chat because without them, realistically, we're nothing. This community wouldn't thrive the way it is if it wasn't for the people that actually are watching and being and contributing into each stream. So you know what? Hats off to all the boys and girls.
Absolutely, everybody.
Yeah,
we're completely inclusive here.
Of course. And that's why but the thing is, you know what I like as well? Everybody says it and respects it. Do you know what I mean? Like they show their respect, they say their respect, they show people and they make them feel welcome, and that's what I like about it. That's so important.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
It's a wonderful community.
Oh, it is. I couldn't be like I said. I've been in a lot of communities. I collect stickmans. I collect statues. I've been in figure streams. I've been in clubs. I've been in statues. I've been in all sorts of stuff to do with Superman. But there is nothing, and I'm telling you, nothing like this one.
I've seen EDC communities and a whole bunch of other communities, and just seeing this community from the outside, and I was like, oh, I wonder what it's like from the inside. And then I join, and I start seeing the way things are, and I'm like, wow, this is no different from the inside than it appears to be from the outside. I am just outside of Philadelphia, Andre. Westchester, Pennsylvania. I figure I'm taking ownership of the name, which has my name published to it. People could dox me. I'm just pre-doxing myself. We live in a world where, it's privacy, you can either work really hard to keep it, or it can be pierced easily. Good day, Marty. Joining
That
us.
is so true. That is so true. I've had my fair share of trolls, and they figured out where I am and who I am and what I'm all about. But eventually, that's all they are, and they go away and they do that thing, and then they come back and then they go away. It's just what they do. You just got to learn to ignore them and just keep going.
Absolutely.
You know.
You know, I forgot to mention one watch. I have an all-black Casio that was actually a gift to me from Dave Sharp, Float Light from Scottish Watches.
Far away, show us. Show it on the big screen.
Let me get it going up there. I could not find one to save my life, and I was bitching about it in the Scottish Watches group, and he was like, "Oh, you still can't get one?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to pay $400 for it. I got a kid. I can't afford to pay stupid money for a Casio." He was like, "I got an extra one. I'll give you one." You can't read the thing to save your life during the day, but hey, I mean, actually, you can read the hands easily. The loom helps. But reading the day of the week is next to impossible.
The watch wizard is sending me one.
Nice. Is he sending you one of the rainbow decorated ones?
He had an orange one. I don't know if you got to see the orange one he was holding.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it's got a black band and it's got a black surrounding on the top if I want to change it over.
Okay.
But it's got the orange one on them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're great looking watches. They hit it out of the park. They're thin. They wear easy, and it was nice. And yeah, it was great to get this one over from England across the pond from Mr. Sharp.
That is so cool, man. That is so cool.
I was just starstruck that, you know, once again, community, and you know, out of the blue, oh, you can't get one? I have one. Here you go. Let me have your address. And next thing you know, that thing's showing up in the mail. It's just like I said, it's breathtaking what the community does. But I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to repeat myself.
Do you know it's what goes around comes around? You know the saying?
Yes.
That's what I strongly believe in. You go around, what goes around comes around, my friend.
And paying it forward.
And paying it forward, that's it. But if you want to call it quits, have a good night tonight. We can do so, and thought I'd quickly come on and just pay my respects and show my support to you, my man.
I really appreciate you showing up.
No worries, brother. Anytime. I'll be here always.
Thanks
I always
a lot,
say
man.
it and I mean it.
I really appreciate that. You definitely are a man of that word. I can tell you that one right now.
Oh, sorry, what was that? Can you say that again?
I said, you're definitely a man of that word. You know, you definitely come through for your friends. I definitely appreciate that.
Always. You guys mean a lot to me, and I'll say it time and time again. I'll keep saying it because I definitely mean it. You know?
Nice. Thank you so much. So,
no problem, my man.
At 1 hour and 9 minutes, I'm gonna say thank you all very much. Thank you, Mr. GMT, for joining.
You're welcome, brother.
Andre,
you're welcome.
Marco, everybody, Miss R, everybody. Thank you all. I'm flattered. I'm honored. I'm touched. And I can't wait for many, many, many hours sharing with you guys. And I'm going to end the broadcast here with at 1:10.
Good night, guys.